Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to another late night edition of the Welcome to Rathe market update. The last two, Arcane Rising last night and WTR, have been they've been late night edits. So sorry they're a little bit later than normal. Moving in the house, anything. Anyway, wanted to give one quick heads up. This is very important when we're talking to Welcome to Rathe. Alpha and Unlimited. The Reese's peanut butter eggs are in season, and that is very important to remember because they are delicious. Joking. All right. A couple shout outs for first off. I always like to give Mitch over at Midtown Merchant a shout out. Mitch is a good friend of mine. It's fun to have some conversations with him, and he's a good guy. If you're looking to buy singles, Mitch is one of the best opportunities that you have to buy singles. Use my promo code JustLove10 to save 10% off of that. Patrons, you also get a monthly promo code, so that promo code that's right there only works, once for you as a customer, but for patrons you get a 10% off monthly discount code, which is a pretty great perk, especially considering it pretty much pays for the patronage then. And then I also have a TCG Player affiliate link. If you can't find your cards at Midtown Merchant, head on over to TCG Player and pick up some cards there. So, and that's in the link in the description. But if you want to support the channel, really the best way is my Patreon. And my Patreon, I really believe, is a great value. I think the community is a great value. You know, we have a great Discord community. But more than that, kind of the main thing that you get here is a collection tracker that uses my market update videos to give you access to the data every week. And you can kind of see what the total value of your collection is. So I think it's a great way to track your collection, but I also think it's a great way to kind of set up trades or do whatever you need to do. And then actually the $15, that's just a $5 tier. At the $15 tier, the patrons actually have access to all this data, right? The whole, all the monthly data, all the weekly data that I do. And they're able to see what the high card was, or what the highest percentage of what the highest sale of a card was, kind of in real time, and it's a great thing for them too. So anyway, without further ado, I'll stop shilling for myself, and we will start off with Unlimited. I'm seeing Unlimited boxes really sitting around the $95 mark. I'll pull them up on TCG Player, actually. You can currently buy one from Tree Troll Games for $94. I will say this, if you are on the Facebook channel, keep your eye out for stores like Compete Sports, who have been putting them up for $80 a box, and they sell it very, very, very quickly at that rate. But if you are patient, you might be able to pop some at that price. And then the Fabled, the Heart of Fandale, not really doing much lately, unlike the Eye, which has dropped a lot in the last 2 weeks. The Heart of Fandale really sitting kind of in that 550 range, like 560, 510, 480, 600. So I kind of kept it at 550 because that just seems what the averages are over the last 2 weeks. Remember, I did miss last week's update because my family moved homes, so I was kind of a week behind here. But we are kind of looking at the current prices based on the last 2 weeks. I think 550 is a safe price for the Heart. And you can see that's a pretty good graph. We did have a spike up to 700, but we've really found our home here at 550. So let's get to the Legendaries. The average legendary price is sitting at around $146. Scabskin Leathers, Tectonic Plating, not doing much. Mask of Momentum actually a little bit on the rise, whereas Brave Forge Bracers is starting to cool off a little bit. It had a huge spike kind of as we've seen these skirmishes pick up and people playing a lot of these warrior decks. Brave Forge Bracers had a big spike. Now it's cooling off a little bit as people got their copies. Keep in mind that a ton of boxes also just hit the market because there was a reprint. So that's kind of why some of these prices are soft, not necessarily gameplay. But the Spring Tunic is still sitting pretty heavy at $210 as the most valuable card in the set, with Mask of Momentum right behind it. Obviously, the Eye of Ophidia, or the Heart of Fandale, is the most expensive card in the set, but as the most expensive legendary. Let's go to the Majestic Rainbow Foils. The Enlightened Strike Rainbow Foil is still sitting about $140. There were a couple sold below, a couple sold above. It's kind of all over the place. It's kind of trying to find a new price point based, it used to be about $120, and it's trending upwards for sure. Ancestral Empowerment, sitting the same. Really not a huge change in many of the other cards. Let's see. Blood Rush Bellow lost a little bit of value, but really no real changes. The Toma Fiendel, though, down to $40 on TCG Player. That is a current priced card on TCG Player, so there were some that sold for above, but I also like to take the cards that are currently on the market and offer that if they are lower as the new market price. So all in all, the growth is -6% here on the Majestic Rainbow foils, and I think a lot of that again is due to more boxes entering the marketplace. So let's go on over to the non-foil Majestics. We had Enlightened Strike is actually down here at $50. Toma Fiendel is also down to $25. The rest of the cards, Steelblade Supremacy is down a little bit too. Actually, everything's kind of down. Ancestral Empowerment down. The rest of the cards are pretty. Oh, nope. Alpha Rampage. I keep trying to go back, and all the cards are just down. So yeah, it's kind of what it is. You're getting a lot of these cards here. You're getting a lot of them in the boxes, 2 per box, and now more are hitting the market, and that's just causing some softness, as you can tell. So super rare rainbow foils. You're going to hear a lot of the same from me today. The market is going down because of the new reprint in the last 2 weeks that we've seen. And down 15%. Remembrance Rainbow Foil at $12. Seems like a good time to pick up that if you're looking for it. Last Ditch Effort. Nobody plays it. Iron Song Determination. A lot of these cards, again, I mean, even the ones that are getting played, like Singing Steelblade, Iron Song Determination, are a little bit soft simply because cards are entering the market. So it's a great time for players, I think, to start picking up some cards for decks, or if you're looking to build a new deck, I think this is a perfect opportunity to build a new deck, because a lot of the cards, you're getting them 10 to 15% off already on the deals, really. All right, let's go ahead. You can see the graph for the Majestic, or for the super rare rainbow foils. We've lost quite a bit of value, but we have kind of plateaued here. The non-foil super rares also down a little bit, not as rapidly, and actually this Remembrance is up to $8, so who knows. But Iron Song Determination also down to $4, and then the rest of the cards just a little bit soft. Nothing to write home about, though. Your average super rare sitting around $1.88. Your average foil super rare, if I didn't say that, I don't think I did, is sitting at $3.72. Okay, let's get to rares. Everybody wants to talk about the Drone of Brutality. I meant to start off, but I did the Reese egg instead because it was delicious, and I have been thinking about it ever since I ate it. I ate like 6 of those today. All right, let's talk about it. The Drone of Brutality. Let's talk. I know you want to chat. So Drone of Brutality is popping up at $19, $21, and $15 for red, yellow, blue. And obviously, you'll see at the end of the video, I always do the top 10 winners or losers. And these are not in it because I don't usually include the rares because they usually use, TCG low prices. Obviously, these would be on at the top ones. And these are sold listings. These are current, sold listings at these prices. And I will show you the alpha ones. We'll pop into TCG Player to look at them. But obviously that makes these, the percentages go crazy. Because Drone of Brutality got banned, and now all of a sudden everybody's buying the card. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. It'll be really funny to watch over the next couple months. That thing just kind of slowly go down. That's my opinion. But all right, the rare. This is the non-foils. I mean, even these drones, right, are selling for $3 or $4. I mean, it's just crazy. I probably have a million of them. It's stupid. That is not the value of the card, right? But I'm here to show you the facts, and the facts of the market are that people are spending $3 on a non-foil unlimited Drone of Brutality. So leave a comment in the comment section for all the reasons that I'm wrong about Drone of Brutality, and I won't fight you on it. I'll let you have it. You can win. All right, the common rainbow foils, your equipment, $2, $3, $4. Nothing major here. No major movements. Your equipment's still holding decent value for those rainbow foils. Putting your average at 70 cents. And nobody cares about the commons. Your EV calc, so in every box, you can see it there. I'll just show it to you, 128.39. In every box, you're going to get 42 rares. Man, that's like 2 or 3 Drone of Brutalities, I bet. 3 foil rares, 4 super rares, 1 foil super rare, 2 Majestics, a quarter of a foil Majestic, and then a quarter of a chance at the Legendary. And your Fabled is 1 in every 40 boxes. So again, that puts you at $128.39. And this is if you open 40 boxes. Your average per box, because you've opened every card, would be sitting at $128.39. Now, if you only open 1 box, you're not going to hit the Legendary. You're not going to hit the Fabled. You can expect more, like an average of around $78. So where does that leave us on the chart? Well, last week 2 weeks ago, we were at 127. This week we were up 1%. You know, Drone of Brutality really fudged these numbers, honestly, because the numbers should go down based on the rest of the cards. And I think Drone of Brutality has pushed these up just a little bit. So just keep that in mind. Don't let this trend ruin your... Anyway, top 10 cards that moved up. We'll do the top 3. Cranial Crush, the super... all 3 of them are super rares. That's cool. Cranial Crush, Reckless Swing, and Sand Sketched Plan, up 72%, 66%, and 41% for a gain of, $1.45, $1.41. The non-foil super rares also... Oh my gosh, all the super rares. Kind of crazy. A little bit of movement there in the super rares as well. And then the top 10 losers. Remembrance, that super rare rainbow foil went from 20 to 12, which is a loss of $8 or 40%. Bonehead Barrier also lost some value, going from 99 cents to 60 cents. That's a change of 40%, which, it's only 30 cents, so not a big deal. And then Toma Fiendale, obviously, down from 57 to 40, which is a loss of $17, down 29%. That's huge. And then Route, Iron Song Determination, and Steel Blade Supremacy. The non-foil losers, the top 3. Let's see, Route's down $1.50. Iron Song Determination is down $4, and Steel Blade Supremacy is down to $12. Sorry, I said those were the values, but you can see what I'm talking about. Down 75 cents, down $1.75, and down $4. All right, let's move on to Alpha. And before we get there, just a reminder, what I share here is just the market facts. If you're interested in some more of my opinions, I do have a podcast called If I Were Investing, and that has been dry for a week and a half or so. I apologize to those patrons. I will make sure to have an If I Were Investing podcast up today or tomorrow. I've got some ideas of what I want to talk about. It's just... life's been busy. So we'll get one of those this week out for you for sure. And now, without further ado, let's go to alpha version of WTR. I can't wait to talk about. I can't wait. All right, let's talk about sealed. I had this at 3,800, and then when I ran the numbers again today, it was less. So at 3,600 sold today. There was another one that sold for 3,600 yesterday. There was a lot that sold on the market at 3,800 though. Earlier in the week, we had one sell for 42. We had another one sell for, where did I see that? It was like high, like for $5,000. I mean, the prices are just all over the place. So many people are taking their gains at different times with Alpha Seal product. It's causing the market to really have a hard time accepting any new prices. So I would still say 3,600 is probably a buyer's deal, and sellers are probably trying to target around $4,000. But I'm just trying to show you guys the facts there. There's been multiple sold at 3,600. I would call that the market price if I was buying. I'm not selling one, so I don't think it's really fair to say what I would sell one at. The Fabled, so here's what I'm saying. This is a couple weeks I've tried to say this in a row now. We are probably not going to see a public sale of a Heart of Fandale that we know the public data of, like on eBay. It's just probably not going to happen for a while. I'm hearing from people who are looking to buy Hearts of Fandale regularly. I'm in regular contact with 3 or 4 people who are trying to buy Hearts of Fandale, and what they are telling me is that they are being like beat out, that people are like, it's just becoming private auctions basically, where people are just trying to send in their top offer. So I do know of one that sold recently for 26,000, and it's all based on condition. And so this is like, if you were to find an ungraded potential 9.5, that's the kind of price that I'm trying to use now as like a raw but very good condition 9.5. Contender, I think it's fetching 30 grand right now. That's my opinion. It's hard to show you any details or any market data because the fact of the matter is that they're just not there. I will say a full set of alpha sold today, Facebook Marketplace, whatever, for around 50 grand, and it's crazy. I mean, that's amazing. And that included the Heart of Fandel, probably valued between 25 and 30,000. So that is what it is. Let's get to the legendaries then. The Scab Skin Leathers Cold Foil, one sold for 1,300 on eBay. Tectonic Plating couldn't really find much sales for. Couldn't really find many sales for, is what I'm trying to say. Sorry guys, it's late. And not really much going on with that card. The Mask of Momentum though, a sold listing. I think this is an all-time high at 3 grand. I'm guessing that it is minty. Let's pull it up for you. We don't want that one. I'm guessing that it is minty because that's a steep price. It was originally listed for 4 grand. The kind of technical sale price of it was 3 grand. I mean, that is a fresh card. Look at the front. Oh man, that's fresh. Congratulations to whoever. The bottom right. I don't know, that bottom right. Anyway, congratulations to whoever bought that. That's probably 9.5. But sitting at 3 grand. Brave Forge Bracers at 1,500. I can tell you, I've been shopping around for one of these to kind of splurge for myself, and it's been hard. It's been very difficult to try to find one. One definitely sold for 1,500 on Facebook Marketplace. In the Spring Tunic, there was one that sold for $4,163. So we are seeing some very, very new highs here in this world. And I will say this, as somebody who decided kind of on a whim 2 weeks ago to buy a Brave Forge Bracers cold foil because I've been playing Cassi, and I've been cold foil common gang. We'll talk about cold foil commons in a minute. I will say it is very difficult to find any of these cards at the prices that I have listed, which tells me that the market's starting to move in a direction. So if you are buying or selling, please, please, please do your own research. Come up with a price that is acceptable to you. And just use this as a guide, right? Use my numbers as a guide to dictate, hey, this is stuff that has been seen in the market. We have seen a sold listing of a Mask of Momentum for 3 grand, a Brave Forge Bracers for 1,500, and a Spring Tunic for 4,100. So, again, I just like to throw out that disclaimer there that it's difficult. People do not want to come off of cold foils. All right, speaking of cold foils, let's go to the commons, my favorite. The cold foil commons, everything in green is the current, is sold listings that I've seen. So, you can tell Heart and Cross Straps, we haven't had a sold listing that I found in 3 weeks. And Iron Rot Helm, the same reason. But Barkbone Strapping sold for $250. Helm of Eisen's Peak sold for $310. Breaking Scales for $325. Refraction Bolters for $315. Hope Merchant's Hood for $170. Heart and Cross Strap for $203. Goliath Gauntlet for $200. Snapdragon Scalers for $290. Iron Rot Helm for $200. That one's 3 weeks old. Iron Rot Plate for $190. Iron Rot Gauntlet for $335. And an Iron Rot Legs for $255, which makes your average cold foil common sitting at $253. And every week somebody says to me, I remember when these were $5, which is so funny. I love it. So cold foil commons definitely on a move. Definitely very popular. Lots of people asking for them, even looking, putting out public offers for them in the Facebook group, which I thought was kind of cool. And so your average is sitting at $253. I don't think I told you your average legendary is up to $2,222. So if I missed that, I'm sorry. But these cold foil commons are up 7%. I mean, look at the graph. Look at that. I mean, they have just kind of skyrocketed lately. Let's get to the Majestic Rainbow Foils. Not much to talk about other than an Alpha Rampage that sold for $550. So this is TCG Player, the seller portal. If you search every card, you can see the most recent sold listings of the card. And there was one that sold for $550. Now, I do want to say this. The same thing happened with Crippling Crush at $625 back on the 22nd of February. And then the next week there was a sold listing for 242, and then this week there was a sold listing for 200. And so you know what that tells me is that some of these deals that are happening on TCG Player, a Spinal Crush sold for 450. That was the same thing that was on TCG Player, are not necessarily indicative of a market price. It's just, I don't know what to, I don't actually know. I mean, I hear all the time when I say this in a video, and then the seller says, yeah, no, I mean, they paid for the card and I shipped it. So they are definitely actually sold listings. That being said, it seems like every time we see one of these big ones, the market recorrects itself down to kind of the average of the rest of the cards. So just wanted to throw that out there for you as well. And then again, we did have a Crippling Crush that sold for 200 on eBay as well. The rest of the cards are all the same prices as a couple weeks ago, and Lightning Strike still sitting at 3,500. I think I saw one that was being offered at 4,500, but that did not sell. And Toma Fandel, whatever you want to call it, at 13.75 makes your average Rainbow Foil Majestic $713. All right, the non-foil Majestics, just two that I really found that really sold this week, or prices that moved. Actually, I think some more of these sold at the same prices. Blood Rush Bellow sold for $22 on eBay. I forgot to mark that one as colored. But really no huge movements here. And Lightning Strike is up to around $300. There was plenty of those sold. I even saw some sell at the $320 mark and some sell at the $275. So I left it at $300 to kind of meet it in the middle. And a Toma Fiendel sold for $150. I forgot to mark all these. Toma Fiendel sold for $150. That makes your average Majestic up to $80, which is an increase of 5%, which is pretty strong for these because, they've been pretty flatlined, and now it looks like a curve is starting to head up. Let's go to the super rare rainbow foils. I found a couple that sold. The big one I thought was Showtime. Last week, this was our number one card to lose value. It went from $70 to $200, and now it's back. From $70 to $20, and now it's back up to $100. So nice to see the market correct itself there. That was just an eBay sold listing. I think the seller didn't fully know what they were doing, and we're back to kind of the $100. Oops, undo. Control Z. It's okay. My cat is like doing something in here. It's really distracting me. What was that? That was 100. And the McGinty release is also sitting at $100. Singing Steelblade, another sold listing at 100. That's up $30. Crazy Brew sold for 63, and a Remembrance sold for 140. That puts your average at $70.93 with a percentage of around 8%. And you can see another just start moving up a little bit. The non-foil supers, your average is sitting at $14.43. A lot of movement here, a lot of little movement, nothing huge, $4 or $5 here and there, but that can add up. A big loss though was Singing Steelblade from 31 to 25, and then Crazy Brew and Remembrance both up as well. Obviously, all those cards going up pushes your EV kind of up 13% there. All right, the moment you've all been waiting for, the Drone of Brutality, everyone's favorite subject today. All right, so Drone of Brutalities, I'm seeing sold listings. Now, don't just take what's on TCG Player low. And now the rest of the cards, the prices I use are usually TCG Player low. But I actually went through and looked up all these cards for you on TCG Player, and the last sold listings on them are $150 for the red, which kind of makes sense. The red one should be worth more. The yellow for $35 and $20 for the blue. I will pull those up for you. We can kind of have some fun looking at them. So we'll pull up red, we'll pull up yellow, and we'll pull up blue. And you can see, this is the first edition, the last sold for $25, and then the foil for $150. And so people are listing for $749. Yeah, good luck, guys. And then, listed for $25 and last sold for $25 and last sold for $35. This one is the yellow, and $225. Good luck. Again, like, people are going to start really, I don't know. The alpha version you can maybe make an argument for, but and this one is currently listed for $200 and last sold for $22. So I agree that it is that they are increasing, that they are going up, that things are happening, but do not go out there. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you what to do. You do whatever you want with your money, but it's just funny. And there were some sold on eBay, but they're just not moving at those prices on TCG Player. So the red one though, 150. All that's up 9%. I would say if you're in the market for drones of brutality, keep your eye on the market, because what I'm seeing a lot happening is people are saying, are they really selling for that price? I have 10 of them in my, and so then they're going to go find them. So you might be able, if you really believe in the idea, you might be able to find some for under those prices as well. All right, enough of the drone of brutality conversation. We just talked about it too, 18, 25, and 25 for those ones. That's up 40% though for the rares. Look at the rare rainbow foils, are only up 9%. Okay, let's do common rainbow foils. Nothing huge here. We are up a little bit though, up 6%. And then the commons, nobody really cares about. Let's get to the EV, get you home, get you on your way. So if you were to open up 40 boxes of WTR, if you had, what's that, $160,000 sitting around and you were like, hey, I want to crack open 40 boxes of WTR Alpha, you could expect a value of around $2,594. But if you didn't sell the commons, right, you're not going to sell all those non-foil commons, you'd be sitting at $2,443. And this is the price that we kind of track. But if you were just to open one box, you can really expect a value of around $1,138. And really, that is also really factoring in your Majestic too, your foil Majestic. So I'm pretty sure you're not going to hit that either. So, all right, let's get to the EV chart. We're going to use that number 2443. And at $2,443, we are up 2%. Now, remember last week or 2 weeks ago, we were up 13%, largely in part due to the heart Fandel. And this week, the heart moved, but it didn't move as much. And that puts us up 2%. So let's look up top cards that gain value. Showtime back in the right slot here, moving from $20 to $100. Really though, I mean, you should see that as moving from $70 to $100, because last week's price, as I said, was kind of bizarre. Alpha Rampage up from $225 to $550. That's an increase of 144%. Again, take that with a grain of salt as well. But the Mask of Momentum up from $1,800 to $3,000. That's a gain of 63%, or $1,100. And I think that price is pretty accurate. The non-foil gainers, Sand Sketch plan up from $4 to $7. That's a gain of 75%. Crazy Brew from 13 to 20. That's a gain of 53%. And Bonehead Barrier. Oh my gosh, I keep messing all this stuff up. Should not do this late. Up from $8 to $12, a gain of 50%. All right, let's go to our cards that have lost the most value. Snapdragon Scalers down from $375, just some market retracement down to $290. That's a loss of $85 or 22%. Crazy Brew Rainbow Foil from $81 to $63. That's a loss of 22%. And Crippling Crush, the Majestic Foil, went from $242 with a sold listing at $200. That's a loss of 17%. And then Blood Rush Bellow lost 50%, going from $45 to $22. This is the non-foil losers. Singing Steelblade went from $31 to $25. That's a 20% loss. And Glint the Quicksilver, going from $74 to $65, is a 12% loss. All right, lots of information there for you guys. A 28-minute video. It's a little bit long, but there was a lot of stuff to go through with drone and with some other things. So anyway, I hope you have a great day. Remember to be kind to the people around you. And we will see you tomorrow we'll kind of take all the data from the last 3 days. We'll put it together and do a top 10 losers and a top 10 winners from all 3 sets. So hope you enjoy your day. Remember to be kind to the people around you. And if you want access to all this data, make sure to go to patreon.com/KitchenTableTCG. It's also linked in the description, and you can get access to all the data, the promo codes for Midtown Merchant, the access to our Discord server. We had a ton of fun playing the games the other day. People walked away with Matt's Fine Center mat the other day was given away. That'll get shipped out tomorrow. Anyway, hope you have a great day. Remember to be kind to the people around you, and we'll see you tomorrow.